This is James Lutton for Pro Boxing Fans. Delighted to be joined with David Coldwell. On the topic of refereeing, judging, I've got to mention the Zelfa Barrett, Kiko Martinez scorecards. In terms of the outcome, it's a close fight. You know, I don't think people would have moaned.
I thought it was a close fight, and Zelfa looked over at me when it was a ring and said, "What do you think?" And I was like that, and he was surprised. He was like, "Really?" I was like that, and I kind of thought Kiko nicked it, but it was a close fight. Could have been a draw. It's one of those. From where I was sat, sometimes it looked like, yes, Kiko was rumbling forward, but he would just be missing, and then when Zelfa throw a lot of shots, he'd rip him in. Or then there were other phases in the fight where Zelfa was throwing a lot but weren't landing, just missing, or Kiko was just catching him. It was a good fight. Do you know what? It was a very, very good learning fight for Zelfa, and that needs to be thought about more, because for his development, a fantastic fight. But whether or not you thought Kiko or Zelfa won 118, 110 or whatever it is, it's what? Do you know what I mean? It's just craziness. It's just craziness. But it's opinions. So it's opinions. I haven't got a problem with people having an opinion on a fight and saying, "I thought this man won." Well, I thought that man won. Yeah, but then you'd say, why? How did he win that fight? And then if I explained to you, when those rounds, this says, I thought he was just missing. You might disagree with that and say, no, it weren't. But at least I'm explaining how I come to that decision. After I've explained, then it's up to you whether you want to agree with me or not. The problem that we have is that these scorecards pop up in hard-fought contests, and in contests where you think, well, maybe it was a close fight, maybe it could have gone either way by a round. But how the fuck did he get it by 8 rounds or whatever? Explain. So Andy Scott goes over and asks the judges and says, guys, you know, we're a bit baffled at how you've come to those scorecards. What can you explain to us? What swung it for you? How did you see it? Say, for instance, they've got notes and they say, you know, say, for instance, in round 5, everybody in the world scores it for Kiko Martinez, but you guys have scored it for Zelfa. How did you come to that conclusion? What did you spot in that we didn't spot? And then if they say, from where I was sat, I thought Kiko was catching the shots. I thought Zelfa was getting through with the shots. And although they weren't powerful shots, the jabs were touching him on his way in. And I just thought that Kiko was missing, although he's aggressive. If they explain, then you can kind of go, well, can I have that? Because that's his seat, that's his position. And he sees that. Is explained. Also, by having to explain, or having to know that they have to explain the decisions, maybe they're going to be more focused on what they're watching. And so, for instance, if I'm there to just give a comment for Sky and, you know, talk about the fight a little bit, but I haven't got a scorecard so that's going to get read up, I might not consciously score the fight. I'm looking at how this fight's going and how it could develop, what the left hooks underneath are doing that might happen later down the line, the pressure that Kiko's putting on that might have an effect later on, or is Kiko slowing down? I'm looking at different things like that. I'm not necessarily looking at scoring the fight. But if you're a judge, or if you know that your job is to score, then literally you don't have to look at that. You don't have to look at things like that. You just have to look at, is he landing more than him? Are the shots landing? Not is he working more than him? Is he throwing more than him? Is he landing more than him? Yes, scoring it to him. Maybe they're both landing about the same, but you prefer a guy that's landing power shots, a little bit heavier shots. So then I've marked it for him because I prefer the aggressive, power shots. I felt that the shots, the better connectivity on the shots were landing, better quality of the shots were landing. Okay, the fans hear this reasoning, and then they're like, all right, well, I don't agree, but yeah, I understand. Fair enough. You just, in fact, by not having them back up the decisions and the thought process, you just think it's bullshit what they're watching. He was always going to win. He was never going to give it to Kiko. He was never going, or whatever fire it is. By explaining, they have to be accountable for it. That's all it is. As long as they're accountable for it, then I think that helps the problem. We'll never all have the same opinion. So we'll always have controversial decisions, you know? I think it just needs to be where the hell to be accountable for them.
Obviously, sitting at home watching it, we get the advantage of the camera angles. We can see replays.
Yeah.
Because obviously the commentary will have it on the screen. Will that help for the judges? Would they be able to sit there and judge better? Would they come to a more unanimous decision?
No, because how are you going to... Well, then you look at football with VAR. So what you're going to do, end each round quickly for a minute, look at a minute's highlights of what's gone off in that round. And then whoever's editing then controls what you're then seeing. Unless you're going to re-watch the 3 minutes and see what's landing, no, that's not going to work.
So it's more case to hold them accountable, let them explain. Like I say, it's down to opinion ultimately. Let them explain it. At least then you can go, okay, fair enough. I don't agree, but we know why.
It's opinions. Boxing's it's going to be opinions, so you're going to get a difference of opinions. And like I said, you can't expect everybody to agree. If everybody agreed in world with everything, it'd be shit. But just answer why. Well, why did you think you won that round? That's it. Just give us an answer so the fans can. When they're stood there scratching their heads, they can't figure out how they've come to that. All they're going to think then is bullshit. It's corrupt. You're shit at your job. You're this. You're that. They're not going to think, oh, okay, well, they thought that. Well, yeah, I can see how they would think that. Oh, well, it's all right going back and watching it on replay where that left hook that you thought landed, he caught on his hook, he caught on his glove, but live you thought it landed. Do you know what I mean? So, and sometimes, and I'll be honest with you, the view that you have ringside is different to the view that you have on TV.